Okay, hello, welcome to today's exciting edition of the Eiffel Diaries. So today I'm probably just going to do a bit of refactoring, but something I found out after I finished recording yesterday, managed to get the AMT, the IPRD AMT working and conformant with the Go AMT IPRD. And when I was comparing the output from our AMT to the Go one, I found that they were very different. And what I came to understand was that it was the way that the CBOR gen stuff works. So in Goland, the CBOR stuff is just arrays of things. It's not so in CBOR you can, because it's concise binary object representation. You can encode objects and they can have properties and like names of properties. So you can just give an object to CBOR encoder and it will create a concise binary representation of it, but it will include the names of the properties. And that is undesirable, I guess, in terms of kind of network stuff, because we'd be sending around the names of properties that we already know. So I guess the reasoning for using just arrays to encode this data is that we'd have it's even more concise than passing around property names and things. So what wasn't immediately obvious, it wasn't immediately obvious when I was looking at the CBOR gen files that are created. But there's no real mention of arrays. Like I see we've got like properties of things being encoded, but I wasn't sure exactly how it worked without delving into it more, and I hadn't really spent the time yet to do that. So I just assumed that it was just being like it was dumping objects with their property names and then reading them back in. But actually, what gets encoded is an array with the values, and then what gets decoded or unmarshaled. So this is in Go world, it's unmarshaled and marshal. It takes all of the values from the arrays and what's the word? Hydrates an object with those values. So that was fun, and the way in which I learned this is kind of interesting. If we just switch back to our version, all I'm doing is, so this is our mem store. Okay, so I'm looking at this specific test, this round trip test, and I've put a dot only on here because this is the only one I want it to run. And what we've got here is we've got two flushes, and these flushes will cause the data to be written to the block store, and our block store is its mem store. So what I've done is in the mem store is I've just added this when things get put to it. I'm just logging out the data that gets encoded by the DAG CBOR encoder as a hex string. So then if I run that, I've put square brackets around it to delineate it from other stuff. If I run that particular file, then I get this this little hex string here, which is cool. And then in Go, what I was doing was, if I can bring it up, the same thing. So I'm looking at test round trip, and it's similar sorts of thing in here. So in Go, I'm just hooking into the flush function because I don't have access to the store because it's in a different package. But so I'm just hooking into the flush function, and actually what I can do is we can just tell root to marshal CBOR, and I get the binary representation, whereas in JS we don't. It's different. So I can get the binary representation by calling marshal CBOR, and then I'm just printing out the hex encoded string. So I should get the same sort of thing printed out for the test that I ran. I don't know if I can. Here we go. Okay, so go go test, test everything, but run the, what is the test we want? It's called test round trip. Run test round trip. And then that, when run, should, oh, okay, interesting. Did I? Maybe I need to add the V flag. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, that's interesting. So in Go, the tests run for lots of zeros for different widths, bit widths. In our test we're just using the default bit width, but these are the, for width 2, test round trip comes back with that test round trip. So we're using the default, which is width 3. So in theory, that should be the same string as ours, which I believe it is. So that's cool. So I can confirm that. Oh, hang on. I can confirm that we're generating for, like, I think this is just the empty store. We're generating the same representation. Woo. Okay, but now wait, what are we going to do with this hex string? Why have we printed it out? This is what. So originally I was getting 2 different hex strings, and I was like, what the Jeff is going on? How do I look at this, what was encoded, to see like what the differences are? And I searched around for a little bit. I eventually found that the cborg package on npm, which is written by Rod, which is rad, just propping up everything I do, has a CLI which has a hex to diag function, which is super cool, and it will print me out a kind of human readable representation of the hex string. That's just why I've encoded everything as hex, because I can now use this rad utility, or it did use this rad utility, to inspect what it is that has been created. And this is cool because this matches up with the internal. Here we go. Internal. Node, not node. This is the root. Here we go. So the root, the first property is bit width with the value 3. That's great. The height is the next one. Code, count. So those 3 ints there, unsigned integers, and then we have node. And so like I was saying, everything is an array. So the node is just an array, and the node has 3 properties. And they are bmap, which is some bytes, and then links, which is an array, has nothing in it, and values, which is an array, again, nothing in it. How cool is that? Pretty cool. And before, what I was seeing was that we had like property, like this is like a map, I think, at the top with property names and stuff. And so now I've changed it so you might remember that our encode CBORs were previously just they were doing stuff like returning objects with like bmap. And I was capitalizing these because I was like, well, they got to be the same as like the Go, the property name in Go, and that is not the case. So I'm glad for that, and also glad that I managed to figure out that we need to return arrays from our encode CBOR and decode CBOR. Decode CBOR gets given an array of things, of properties, these things in the order that they were encoded in. How cool is that? So now all I need to do is go back and refactor all of the actor encode CBOR and decode CBOR stuff, because it won't be conformant as it is, because we're encoding it as like as objects, not arrays of stuff. So I need to refactor that. Cool. So that's that. So I can get rid of all of this. I don't need this anymore. So the other thing I have to show you is the refactoring I'm going to do today is to do with multiformats, and you'll notice in this library, whenever we're using CID, it's CID from this package called multiformats, and as far as I can tell, this is the new IPLD world stuff, so I'm using CID from multiformats everywhere here, and I need to refactor the actors code to use CID from here also. Also, the CBOR stuff by default in IPLD is the hash digest is created with Blake 2b, and so I was pleased to find a multiformats Blake 2 encoder already there for me, so that's rad. And yeah, so to get CID conformance or compatibility, we need to be using this hasher rather than SHA-256, which I think is the default and included version in multiformats. But that's okay. This is only used in tests, so it's fine. This library here is agnostic to that encoding. It doesn't matter. Cool. Okay, so that's that, and I've published this as version 1, and as far as I can tell, it conforms to the Go implementation, which is super cool. Okay, so I can close this now, and I don't need this. I don't need that. I haven't started yet. So I'm going to, what I'll be doing next is close everything. What I'm going to be doing next is creating multimap. Now that I have an ANT, I can create a multimap, and multimap is it's a hamped of amped, I think. So you've got your hash, your key, and then the values can be multiple, like an array of values. So that's why we needed to create the amp. Cool. So the refactoring that I'm going to do today is, I'm going to check out main, I'm going to change, I'm going to uninstall cids. Blake.js. Where are we using Blake.js? That's interesting. Okay, so at the same time, I'm going to upgrade Filecoin address, because there's a whole bunch of well, maybe I'll do that first. So I need to upgrade Filecoin address. I'll send that or push that first, and then I'll upgrade to multiformats. So hang on. There we go. Right. Cool. Okay. So Filecoin address. Let's have a look. Modules. Okay. So there's a pull request. So I sent a pull request to add these utility functions. So this has now been merged and released, which is very cool. But this adds like a new function called new actor address, new secp256k1, new BLS address, and a utility function to extract an ID from an ID address. And these functions were previously in the actors code base, and we can now just depend on the updated version and remove them. So let's do that. Let's do that first. So we can see we're using a beta.17 version, good for that. And we've got a beta 18 to install. Cool. Let's do that. Oh. Let's just copy what we had before. There we go. Okay, and then we can get rid of this. Yeah, we can get rid of this file entirely, so I'm just going to delete that, and then we can now play this fun game trying to figure out where it is. So maybe if I just npm build, that will tell me. Okay, so built-in account helpers invariants. Source vectors built-in account helpers invariant. Okay, I should just be able to import this from there now. That's cool. Okay. Count tests, active constructor test. Count test, active constructor test. Here we go. All of these can now come directly from there. Actor.exec.tests. Oh, init. Right. There we go. Great. Okay, that's that. And now, what can we do? Okay, right, let's remove cids, npm and cids. So I think for a large part, I'm going to be able to go find import CID from cids and replace that with import CID from multiformats. Yes, I think we can probably get rid of this as well. Interesting. Why do I... Okay, let's replace people. Great. Yes, please. Okay. Can't find multiformats. Oh, okay. npm install multiformats. I thought I did that already, but I guess not. Oh, okay. What's going on? 4.5. Yes, can I please have the latest one? Sorry, 4. Thank you. Right. I think it's installed an older one because that is the version that another dependency is using. Okay. Okay. Bad things have happened. Okay, so making a CID is different now. In multihashes, so that's fine. Codes. Let's have a look. Yeah. All right. Version, code. And yeah, so I need in here there's a identity hashes, I think. So hashes start as hasher. Identity. I want the identity one. I think I'm gonna have to import /hashes/ identity. What are you expecting here? Bytes. Multi-hash digest. Here we go. Right, so. Oh, hang on. Codecs. I need a codec. Oh, codec. Here we go. Codec dot. does it? I need to import specifically the raw one. Yeah. Ooh. I didn't know there was an await. Oh, type await is T or promise of T. Okay. I think that the digest. Promise of digest. Yeah, that's what I want. I think that's what I want. I really don't have, I can't really await here. Digest is always a promise. Return the promise of digest. Oh yeah, no, okay, that's fine. Interesting. Identity. Maybe I can just create this digest. Because it's the identity. I don't know. Can I have digest? Great. Okay, what? Cool. Digest in types, but not. Oh, okay. Star as digest. Okay. think I'm not going to need multi-hashes either. Yeah, okay. Where was it? So let's uninstall that. Let's just have a look what they're doing in multi-formats. What does a README say? JSON shell, yeah. I don't think I need to prefix for these. Okay. Cool. Oh, okay. Oh, CID. So it's not, I need to come from a string. They're from strings, aren't they? So maybe there's a from string as CID. Takes any input and returns a CID. Otherwise returns no. Yeah, okay. Find return value. Find it's not in this class. Can I pass it a string? No, I can't pass it a string. Okay. Okay. Pass then. Great. Ooh, okay. So entries filter. Okay, so the key should be a CID because we're using. Okay, this should be fine. Why am I repassing these? A0. be 0.bytes. Okay, great. I think this is a hangover from when we weren't using this typed map as the built-in actors. Okay, cool. It's just I wonder if I should probably return. Oh, let's just return that. That's fine. Right, what else is broken? What else is broken? Codex is, yeah, that's fine. I think the DAG cborg coder, like, so what I did before, where are we? Let's open this up. I think it's 1.1. I think to just remove the dependency on DAG cborg. Let's just have a quick look. Yes, 0x71. Interesting. I think it's 113. Yeah. It is. Okay, great. Wow. Chugging. Okay, we'll get there. We'll get there. Let's do this one. CID. Okay, so I wonder if we can get hold of the. I think it's already in there. Yep, don't need to decode it. It's already decoded. And identity is 0. Let's put that on the top. Okay, so there's nothing to do if it's the identity hash. That's cool. Yeah, okay, so this is... Okay, because it's coming from this block. Interface. Okay, so we're going to remove this because I think this is no longer used because it all comes through multiformats. So where are we using this? Excuse me. Where is it? Okay. Okay, so store put. We've got our CBOR encoded object. How do we do this now? Oh, so we should also use the Blake. Okay, so we need to look at, let's have a look at what we did when we did a put in here. Okay, so I think we need this. Oh, right, yeah, okay. Let's grab this. I feel like something has finished that has made my laptop so much faster. Okay, so cborg, did we need that? Yeah, we did need that. Okay, so let's install that. What version am I using in here? Version 3. Okay, great. Okay. cborg. Oh, interesting. I can just use cid create. We can give it the digest. Oh, maybe I'll use that one instead. Let's use that, and then I don't have to pass. Okay, where are we? Codes. And then it can be a one-liner again. Whee! Okay, great. So I had cborg. Oh, I need to import this, don't I? Let's import this at the top. I need that. Okay, we'll deal with that in a sec. We were down here, weren't we? Oh, okay. No, let's start here. Okay, so encoded. So we're encoding and then decoding to get a copy of it, doesn't it? Oh, don't want that. That's not what I want. I think I don't need to make a hash here, so that's fine. cborg.encode v. Yeah. Great. Decode data. Yeah. Okay, so this is the bit where we get a CID code obj. And this is where we will create the CID. Nice. What's that? That's fine. Now we need to create a CID, don't we? So we can do the same. Final key. Great. Okay.
that's that. Maybe these will come later. I think in the browser, no, it's synchronous either way. Okay, great. Do not need you open. Okay, hang on. Wow. Is CID. Okay. Where am I using that? As CID. Okay. Sure. Okay. Refactor. Fini. Hooray. Okay. So all I need to do now is change my encode CBOR and decode CBOR to use arrays rather than objects. So let's commit this. Is there anything in here that yeah, that's all good. There was one thing actually in, yeah, I don't think I don't need this. To remove that because I had that in just for while I was testing something. And then for the build, the production build, I just wanted to use, I just recently changed this so that we don't get anything in tests regardless of what I call it, or anything in helpers in the production build. Great. Probably should commit that as a separate thing, but woohoo! Okay, that's all for today.